Hi, I'm going to do another poetry reading for you today. It is Aeneid 692 by Virgil. This one is going to be it's going to be read a little bit differently. I'm going to have to be I have to do it emotionally because it's like in a first person account. Um, it's about, considering what happened, with the fires and things like that. I wanted to do something a little different. Um, Keats really liked it, Virgil, so I'm going to be reading from that, and I hope you like it. As he spoke, we could hear, even more loudly, the noise of the burning fires. The flood of flames was coming nearer and nearer. My father, let me take you upon my shoulders and carry you with me. The burden will be easy. Whatever happens, you and I will experience it together. Peril or safety, whichever it will be, little Eunice will come along beside me. My wife will follow behind us, and you, my servants, listen to what I say. Just as you leave the limits of the city, there is a mound, and the vestiges of a deserted temple of Ceres, and a cypress tree that has been preserved alive for many years by the piety of our fathers. We will all meet there, though perhaps by different ways. And Father, you must carry in your arms the holy images of our household gods. I, coming so late from the fighting and the carnage, cannot presume to touch them until I have washed myself in running water. As I spoke, I take up the tawny pelt of a lion and cover my neck and my broad shoulders with it. And bowing down, I accept the weight of my father. Eolus puts his hand in mine and goes along beside me, trying to match my steps as best as he can, trying his best to keep up. My wife follows behind us, a little way back. So we all set out together, making our way among the shadows, and I, who only just a little while ago had faced undaunted showers of arrows and swarms of enemy Greeks, am frightened by every slightest change in the air and startled by every slightest sound I hear, fearful for whom I walk with and whom I carry. And just as I had almost come to gates and thought that I had almost gotten us free, I thought I heard the sound of many feet, and my father, peering intently into the shadows, cries out to me, get away, my son, they are coming. I see their shining shields, I see the glow of their weapons in the dark. I am alarmed, and I don't know what happened, but some power hostile to me distracts my wits, and I am confused, and I lead us away by ways that I don't know, and off the familiar streets that together we are following, and so oh God, some fate has taken away my wife, Crucia, my wife, away from me. What happened? Did she wander from the way we were going? Did she fall back, having to rest some place back there, and so we left her? I did not know. I never saw her again, and as we went, I never turned to look behind, and never thought of her until we reached the Mount in Ceres' ancient place. When all of us at last had gotten there, we all were there. But she had vanished. She wasn't there. Gone from her people, gone from her child and her husband. What men or gods in my frenzy did I not cry out against? What worse sight had I seen? I left Ascanius and Anchises and the household gods in the care of my companions, and I found a secluded place deep in a valley for them to hide, and I myself took up my shining weapons and sought the city again, determined no matter what to look for my Crucia everywhere in Troy. I found my way along the walls and to and through the shadow gate I left the city by, carefully step by unseen step in the dark backwards, and the way I came I make my way everywhere as I go fills me with terror. The very silence around me fills me with terror. I make my way to my home in case she's gone back there. The Greeks had invaded the house and set it on fire. And through the house the fire rolled up on the surge of the wind to the very roof, and the flames tower high above the burning house, and the heat of the burning pours up into the sky. And so I go on, and once again I see the palace of Priam, and the citadel, and the palace, and in the empty courtyard of Juno's shrine, there's Phoenix and Dark Ulysses guarding the treasures taken from everywhere from the shrines that the Greeks had set fire to. The golden bowls, the holy altar tables, the stolen holy vestments. Boys and trembling matrons stand around. I wander in the streets. In my desperation, I call out her name, Crucia, Crucia, calling Crucia over and over again. And as I went among the ruined buildings, through the streets of the ruined city, lo, suddenly there rose before my eyes a strangely magnified image of my wife. I was stupefied. My hair stood on end. My voice got caught in my throat. Then she spoke to me and said words that altered everything for me. Beloved husband, what use is it for you to persist in this insanity of grief? What has happened here has happened not without the will of the gods. The High Lord of Olympus does not permit Grusha to go with you to be with you on your journey where you are going. Long exile will be yours, plowing across vast seas until you come to Hesperia, where Lydian Tiber gently flows between rich husbanded fields, and where you will be happy, a king, and wedded to a royal wife. Give up your weeping now for your Crucia. I, a Dardan woman, and the spouse of divine Venus's son, will never see the scornful households of the Myrmidons or the Lopians, and never have to be a Scotian slave in service to some Greek matron. The mighty mother keeps me on these shores. Farewell, and may your care protect and cherish your child and mine. And having spoken thus, the image of her receded into the air, leaving me weeping, with so much still to say. 3 times I tried to embrace her and to hold her. 3 times the image clasped in vain escaped as it were a breeze or on the wings of a vanishing tree. And so, the night being over, I returned to my companions where they were. When I got there, I was amazed to see how many others, women and men, had come, wretched survivors of the fall of the city, to join us in the exile and the journey, a heartbreaking company, come from everywhere, ready in their hearts and with their fortunes to follow me wherever I was going. Now the morning star was rising over the highest ridges of Ida, bringing in the day that was the beginning. The day that was beginning. The Daemons held the city behind the gates that they had locked. There was no hope of further help, and so I acknowledged this, and taking up the burden of my father once again, I sought the hill